Hey guys, Rod here with VML Sports Cards. I know it's been a minute. I've been extremely busy, but I am very glad and blessed to have a few minutes to chat with you and do this video and kind of continue a topic that I really want to talk to you about because it's actually kind of time sensitive. Like we are heading into the next couple of weeks. In the next couple of weeks, the NBA is finally going to restart after the stoppage due to COVID. A lot of sports are coming back around that time frame as well, but as you guys know, I'm big in basketball. And the last video I had done, I had talked to you about the top players that I think will have the biggest, gains as we head into the playoffs, the season continuing and in the playoffs. So the three guys that I've really been buying up and investing in over the last month that I want to share with you guys and kind of talk to you about why. So the first guy is a guy that I think if you watch a lot of other YouTubers and sports cards investors, they're high on as well, and I am as well based off of what I've seen and his ability to play both ends of the floor, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. It's funny because I remember watching his dad actually play for the Bullets. He was a backup for Calbert Cheaney for I think like 1 or 2 seasons back when they were the Bullets, and eventually I think he got traded or maybe left in free agency to the Spurs. Ended up winning a championship with the Spurs, which seems to happen to a lot of Washington players if you actually follow Washington sports. They start their, they play here for a little bit and then they go somewhere else and they win a championship. But that's another conversation. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is a guy I am very high on. A lot of other guys are high on as well. I'm going to read off a couple of stats to you and talk to you about him. So this is his second year. He was part of the 2018 draft. He was 4th overall. What a loaded draft class it was back last year, back in 2018. So people kind of referred to it as the Luka and the Trey year rookie class. But Jaren Jackson I think he's a guy that can get up into that echelon and be a part of that conversation, kind of pushing up that draft class as well. So his first year, last year, averaged 13.8 points per game, 4.7 rebounds. This current year, I should say, he's averaging 16.9, also 4.7 rebounds. The really great thing about him is he plays on both ends of the floor. When he actually was coming out of Michigan State, he was more touted as a defensive player who could score. Now, he's proving that to be the case. He's averaging, like I said, 17 and 5. He's also averaging 1.6 blocks, so he's defending. He's defending the rim. But I think the biggest thing is that he also is a stretch 4. So he's shooting at a 39.7% clip from 3, and he's making about 2.5 threes a game, which is a crazy number for, 1, a young player, but also 2, a big man. So, I mean, he's 6'11", 240 pounds. So he's got a funky looking shot. Like if you actually watch it, you wouldn't think it would go in, but it obviously is at a high clip. So I think guys that can defend and guys that can also shoot the 3. I mean, he's teamed up with Jamal Morant, who's going to get him some more open shots, draw a lot of attention to the defense. So I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities in a growing Memphis market. So I think right now they're ranked 8th in the playoffs if they were to start today. So obviously with the 8 games remaining, they still would need to earn their seed, and they've got a lot of other teams, competitive teams there. You got New Orleans obviously with Zion, and then you got Dallas with Luka just ahead of you at number 7. So they're really going to have to work to fight off these other teams. I think Portland's in the mix as well, and obviously Portland's a loaded team. So I think they'll have enough to squeeze into the playoffs. And if they do, the sky's the limit. So Jamal Morant, rookie, and I think with Jaren Jackson, his second year getting the taste of playoffs is going to help expand his game heading into next year. So here's a couple of the cards that I've picked out. I'm just going to run through these real quick. I'm not going to talk too much about the values per se, but I like these cards, and I think that I bought some of them to invest in, sure, but I also like them. I like the look of them. So this was a lot that I got probably about a month ago. It came with 11 of his rookie select cards. So here's a close-up of that. Not a bad pattern. So I kind of am seeing the select cards as sort of like you got your prisms, you have your optics, and then you have your select. So that's kind of what I'm seeing as I'm trying to navigate and learn a little bit more about the ultra modern cards, which is basically 2016, 17, and newer. According to PSA. With that lot that I just showed you, I also picked up 8 of these. With that, it's the Jaren Jackson rookie card, his Prism rookie card. So, obviously the Prisms are what people are going after. People know them. And when we talk about assessments and really valuing not only the card, but where a player's at in terms of the hobby demand, you typically go off the Prisms. But I got 8 of these. I would say probably 2 or 3 of them will be worth sending into PSA to try to get graded. Same thing with the selects. There's maybe 3 or 4 that I'll send in. The other ones I'll probably keep or try to sell. Not sure. So I mentioned the optics. So I gotta admit, I don't know about you guys, but the more I am learning about these ultra modern cards, and I'm seeing them, I really love the look of the optics. I think these are a clean looking card. I like the finish on these cards. I don't know. I just, the silver outline on this, so I really like these cards. This is a great card. This is well centered. I think it's even on all sides, so I'll be sending this in to get graded as well. But I liked them so much that I started looking at some of the parallels, and one of the ones that I did pick up was the Jaren Jackson Jr. Blue Velocity. And it's cool, very cool, how it reflects the light. And I just, I'm still trying to figure out like the demand on, it seems like the silver prisms, which are essentially like the refractors from back in the day, are getting the most attention in terms of dollar-wise from the hobby. But I mean, these look great. I mean, this looks nice just because, you see him in the blue Memphis jersey, and you see the blue borders. That's pretty awesome. So probably send that in as well. See what it comes back at. And then lastly, I picked this up. This was like $40. It was already graded silver prism freshman phenoms insert, and I'm kind of gonna compare these in a way to like Topps Chrome from 96 and 97. They had the Youthquake set or inserts, which was specific to the rookies. And I always thought that was a very cool set. And to me, these kind of remind me of the same thing. Now, these are worth substantially less than the Prisms, but the actual Prism base rookies. But I feel like if you get this in a silver, essentially the refractor and a PSA 10, I can only see this going up in value. And it was a pretty decent investment, $40. All right. So player number 2 is another guy who has a lot of potential, who I actually think that, I mentioned him in a few videos earlier. I think he's kind of flying on the radar a little bit, maybe not so much anymore based off of, with the way the hobby is. But, this guy is, he's out in Denver. It's Jamal Murray, guard from Kentucky. So I picked up a couple of his optic rookies. I mentioned to you I really like these, so picked up a couple of these. And so Jamal Murray, guard from Kentucky. He's also a young guy, 23 years old. This is already his 4th year in the league, so he's already got a lot of experience under his belt. He's on a very good, high quality Denver team that has, it's a very deep team. So you got another rookie in Michael Porter Jr. Who's contributing. Malik Beasley is another guy, actually from the same draft class back in 2016. He was the 7th overall pick that year. And he's first year he kind of struggled a little bit. I mean, I could read off some of his stats, but by year 2 and 3, he started making more of a mark. And Denver as a whole started to improve, especially with the addition of Nikola Jokic, who was really kind of coming to his own as an all-star player. So year 1, he was averaging 9.9 points a game. By year 2, made a huge bump up to 16.7. Year 3, 18.2, and then this year he's averaging 18.8. He's also shooting at the best he's the best field goal percentage clip that he shot in his career is at 45.5. So he's becoming more efficient in that sense. So yeah, he's a very good crafty combo guard. He's 6'4", so he can play the point. He can handle. He can also dish the ball. And also he obviously has the ability to score. Shoots it from about 35% from three. Shoots about 90% from the free throw line. So pretty efficient scoring as well. And I think he's going to kind of keep that Denver team afloat. I could see him getting in the playoffs and have an opportunity to make a game winner or game tying shot, or I think that he's going to come up in a clutch situation for them. And if that's the case, his cards will only go up. So I showed you the optics that I picked up. Another card I also picked up as a part of a different lot was his 16-17 autograph select rookie card. This one's numbered to 299. Really, really clean looking card. I like the select from this year. Probably a little bit more than the last couple years. This is, like I said, from 2016, but pretty cool card. It's got a nice looking auto as well. Also on card autos, which I definitely prefer as well. So yeah, Jamal Murray, that's my second pick for guys to watch heading into the playoffs. And my last pick is actually also from the same draft year as Jamal Murray back in 2016. He actually was the third overall pick this year behind Brandon Ingram and Ben Simmons in that draft class. And it's actually Jaylen Brown. So I picked two guys from teams in the Western Conference, and this guy is from the Eastern Conference. He plays for the Boston Celtics. Like I said, third overall pick. Another young guy, 23 years old. I think he's overlooked because another guy in Boston who actually kind of plays a similar position is Jason Tatum. The hobby is super high on Jason Tatum right now. Anything Jason Tatum is like shot up through the roof exponentially. Definitely more so than a lot of other players have. A lot of players are saying, a lot of guys are saying he's the face of the league. Once LeBron is gone, and don't get me wrong, I think he's a great player, but I feel like another guy that's on Boston, another high draft pick that is overlooked is Jaylen Brown, and I think he's going to have a great playoff series. I think he's had a great season thus far, but to me his stock can only go up. For a couple reasons. One, like I said, because Jason Tatum's over here, to me Jaylen Brown is over here. You can only go up, especially since the Celtics are going to make noise. And two, he's a Boston Celtics. So I'm finding that a lot of these guys that like to collect these cards, or just collectors in general, I think the average collector, if you have a team, you naturally gravitate towards the Lakers, the Celtics, maybe the Bulls, some of the bigger name markets. And I feel like a guy like Jaylen Brown, as long as he sticks in Boston and he continues to produce, has the ability to, again, he's got a lot of collectability because he's a Boston Celtic. So the second that he goes to another smaller market, maybe his value, kind of wavers a little bit. But that he's a solid pick and investment because he's a Celtic. And the Celtics are, I think they're ranked third this year, heading into the playoffs. So they really do have a lot of potential. And I think a lot of people are seeing them as a team that can challenge Toronto and the Bucks as well to come out of the East. So here's some of the cards that I pulled. So picked up his Prism rookie right here. This is a good deal. Although one thing I did not notice is on the back part of the card, you probably can't. You could probably see it. I'm gonna point to like right here. So there was not an actual scan of the back part of the card. Definitely something to look forward. Definitely something to look for when you are shopping for cards online and really just studying these scans. Like some of them come out blurry, some of them don't have it. If they don't, you're kind of rolling the dice that maybe the back part of the card is fine, but you can also shoot an email or a message to whoever's selling the card to ask for a scan. If they don't provide one, maybe that's a sign that it's not in great shape. And some people are great and they just disclose it, hey, this is the condition of the card. So again, not a bad card. I didn't really pay too much for this. It was a part of another lot, but I was really happy to get it because even its current condition, I could resell this for a profit. So it's not like I'm losing money on the card, but probably not worth the PSA submission, which I would have liked to do. So I mentioned I like the optics. So just like Jamal Murray and Jaren Jackson, I picked up a couple of his optic rookies. One of these is centered really well. I will send it into PSA. This also came with a lot. So this is from Panini, the National. This card's in great shape. Not too many of these that are out there. I'm assuming that this must be from the National Conference that Panini holds. and they probably just gave it out to people that were attending there. But a very cool card, almost like a kind of a refractor looking card. So I'll probably send this in to get submitted because there's not a whole lot of them out there as well. And then I also bought another lot of his 16-17 Select rookies. This has a $20 sign, and this is I've been so busy, haven't had a chance to take these out of the sleeves to really inspect them. But these averaged about $10 a piece. Thought this would be a good investment to kind of put in. I think probably about 3 of these. Half of these I'll be able to send to the PSA and hopefully get them graded well. And then lastly, this is probably one of my favorite cards that I bought. Also a part of a lot was this 16-17 Select die cut blue refractor. Really beautiful card. This is numbered to 199. Really hoping that this grades well. Not a ton of these out there that are in PSA 10. So from what I can tell, I'm just going to look at the cornering, just like with any card, the corners, the edging, and see how that compares to this. But from the research I've done, this should grade hopefully a 10. So I'll do another video once these get submitted and they come back, and see what they come back in. But at this rate, looks like PSA won't be for another 6 months anyway. So probably be in the wintertime. At this point, maybe these card values change. Nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely like, subscribe, and I promise to try to get some more videos out and get them out more often. We'd love to see what you guys are picking up and who you guys also are interested in heading into this NBA season, the restart. Anyways, you guys have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.